Today we're going to look at how to use the Shape Tween option inside Adobe Animate. The version we're using here is Animate 2020, so your version might look slightly different. The first step is to select the Create New button. We're going to leave it as the standard option, which is 640 x 480 pixels, and then we're going to select the Create button. So we have the standard view here for Adobe Animate. What we're going to do today is we're going to create a sun and a moon cycle to show what the Shape Tween can do in Adobe Animate. So the first thing to do is we need to create 3 layers. So the first layer we're going to double click and we're going to rename that as background. Then we're going to create another layer and we're going to double click on that and call that ground. And finally we are going to create a final layer, double click on that and call that sun moon. Then what we want to do is make sure that we have frames for each layer. So we're going to go out to the 2S mark, which is the 2 seconds, right click on the 60th frame and insert a frame for each layer. Okay, so we should have 3 layers with 2 seconds of blank animation. So the first thing we need to do is you need to select the first frame in the background, and what we're going to do is we're going to draw a skybox in. So to do that is we select the rectangle tool on the left hand side, left click on it. Then what we need to do is in the fill command is I want to change it to a light blue for day, and then I'm going to change the stroke to being blank, not transparent. Then what we're going to do is we're going to draw our skybox over the canvas. It doesn't matter if you go over the canvas because this won't be shown when you publish the document at the end. So then what we're going to do is we are then going to go to the 30-second mark, right click, insert a keyframe, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change this to a night sky. To do so, we're going to select the paint bucket tool on the left hand side and then change the fill to a darker blue. And then all you do is you left click on the actual background. The final step in doing a Shape Tween is you right click anywhere between the first and the 30th frame, and then you select Create Shape Tween. And then if you rewind and play it, you see that the computer has calculated the shades of blue between the light and the dark blue. The next step is that we want to draw some ground in. So make sure you select the first frame in the ground layer. We will now be using the pencil tool. So we're going to draw a green hillside in. So what you need to do is you need to make sure we have no fill color because it's not used in the pencil tool. And then in the stroke color, you select the appropriate green. So I'm going to select this light green up the top here. And then what you do, you draw around the canvas, the hill, like so. And then finally, we use the fill bucket tool the paint bucket tool to fill in the color. As you can see here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 30th frame. We're going to insert another keyframe by right clicking. And at this point here, we are going to select to be able to replace the color for a dark green. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go into the fill color, select a dark green, do the same thing for stroke, use the paint bucket, and then all we need to do now is right click on this layer anywhere between the first and 30th frame, and then create Shape Tween. And if we rewind and play that, we can see that we have both our ground and day transitioning into night. So what we need to do next is we are going to do our final thing, which is to transition the sun to the moon. Make sure you select the first frame in the sun moon layer, and then what we're going to do is select the oval tool. Inside here, you then select the color of the sun as appropriate. So I'm going to select yellow. I'm not going to have a stroke color. I'm just going to draw the sun So make sure you select a yellow for the fill. I'm going to select this yellow, and then I would suggest removing the stroke color. Next up, you draw the sun in the top left-hand corner. So then the next step is to go to the 30th frame, right-click, insert another keyframe, and then what you want to do is delete that sun by selecting the selection tool, making sure it's selected, and then delete. So our final step for this animation is we're going to draw a moon. So in this case, I'm going to select the oval tool, and I'm going to change the fill command color to a white, making sure that I have no color for the border or the stroke color. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my moon in the top right-hand corner. Okay, so you can see here, I can leave it as a full moon, but I want to have it as a partial moon. The way you can do this is you just select the oval tool again, select any color for the fill. It can be any color whatsoever. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw another circle on top to make it look like basically it's a partial moon. Now, the way Adobe Animate works is if you put another object over a background object, when you delete that object in front, part of the background will get deleted underneath it. So I'll show you. If I hit the delete button, you can see that I have my partial moon. So now what I do is I do the same thing. I right-click on the timeline, I create my shape tween, and then what I do is I rewind and I press play. And there you have it. We have our first shape tween tutorial. If you have any more questions, please look at the remainder of the YouTube videos, and thank you for watching.